actually discovered my love for this food during my pregnancy, so maybe we have Noah to thank. But I love Red Robin French fries dipped in their honey mustard. And yes, it is that specific. I've never really been a potato person. I like sweet potatoes, but there's something about the texture of regular potatoes that's never really agreed with me in my adult life. And so I've never really eaten any form of potatoes, let alone a fried version of them. But we went to Red Robin. They've got really great salads, and I like their veggie burger too. And this was probably about 8 or 9 weeks into my pregnancy. And James, of course, had ordered French fries, and I was like, those look so good. So my husband looks at me, of course, like I have 9 heads because he's never heard me say anything like that. He was like, well, try one. And so I did, and I was like, Red Robin, yum. I really did. I started singing the jingle in my head. And so now James's mission is for me to try French fries every place we go. And I've tried them everywhere. You can go ahead, you can list your comment. I guarantee you, I've probably tried the French fry. And I don't like them. Red Robins are the only ones that I like. So it's very specific that you get Red Robin French fries dipped in their honey mustard. Not any French fry honey mustard combination will do. Red Robin, yum. I've had a lot of people do a lot of kind things for me, but there is one thing that stuck out that came to my mind before anything else. So I was 5 years old. I was on a choir tour trip. My dad was the minister of music, and so he led the youth choir trips. And our family vacations growing up were normally some form of a church trip. And so we were in Niagara Falls, and we were either on our way there or on our way back, but usually what my dad would do is we would stop to eat as we traveled at a mall food court, because that would give people a chance to walk around and stretch their legs. I mean, when you're driving from Memphis, Tennessee to Niagara Falls, people need a little chance to move around. So I remember that the food court was right there, and there was a Bath and Body Works, which what 5-year-old kid doesn't love going into those stores and smelling everything? So one of the girls in the youth group was going to go in the store, and so I asked my mom if I could go with her. And she said, yeah, sure, that's fine, because she could see me from the store. She trusted the girl. So I went, and I got in the store, and I just started smelling everything. You know, and of course, I couldn't reach anything. So I was constantly asking the man who was working in the store if he could get that down for me so I could try it. And he was so kind to me. He went above and beyond, because obviously I'm a 5-year-old kid. I'm not going to buy anything. So he had to know that he wasn't going to make a sale off of me. But the store wasn't really busy at that time. And so he didn't mind getting things down off the shelf for me and letting me sniff them. So we're getting ready to leave the store, and he calls to me. And he said, hey, he said, can you tell me which one of these soaps you like best? This one or this one? And I smelled both of them carefully, and there was one of them that was purple, and I pointed at the purple one. I was like, that one, most definitely that one. And so he said, hang on just 1 second. So he went and he wrapped it up in like their store paper and gave it to me. And I just remember I was in shock, but I was so appreciative. I just kept saying, thank you, thank you. And so I ran back to the food court, and I told my mom what he had done. And she was like, Michelle, you can't take this. You just can't take this. And so we went back to the store. My mom took me back in and said, did you really give this to her? And he said, yes. You know, he said, she didn't bother anybody. She didn't try and climb on things if she couldn't reach them. She was very well behaved, and you know, I enjoyed getting to help her. My daughter's a similar age, and so I want her to have it. Will you please let her keep it? And I kept that soap for about 10 years. It stayed on my dresser, and it was just a reminder to me to do random acts of kindness, because that man, he didn't have to do what he did, but it meant so much to me and it had such a big impact on me. For every time I looked at that soap, it reminded me, do something kind for someone today. So you never know. Somebody may be making a YouTube video off of some random act of kindness that you do for them. You've got to experiment until you find what works for you, because what may work for one person may not be right for you. Some people, if they eat before they go work out early in the mornings, they feel like they've got food sloshing around their stomach their whole workout and they feel nauseous. Other people feel really weak if they don't eat something before they work out. So don't be concerned with, oh, my body's in fasting mode and I'll burn more calories or I'll burn more fat this way. A calorie is a calorie, and you're going to burn the same one whether you eat something before you work out or you don't. And if you're not fueling your workouts and your body needs that, then you're not going to be able to put in as much intensity. So normally in the mornings, if I'm working out really early, I'll grab half a protein bar or a piece of fruit on my way out the door. And usually that gives me about 30 to 45 minutes before I'm actually going to be bustling with activity. So I have a little bit of time for it to settle. Find a quick snack, something that works for you, something that'll give you quick energy that doesn't make you feel sluggish, and that would be the best thing for you to do. If you feel sick, if you eat something before you work out early in the morning, then don't eat anything. If you don't have a problem with that, then just make sure that you are adequately fueling your body after your workout to replenish what you've just lost. So there really is no one size fits all answer to this. You've just got to figure out what works for you. And the beauty of the cross. There are so many ways that I can answer this question, but short answer, no, I would not. And this isn't a matter of whether you're liberal or conservative, or you fight for women's rights or you don't, or you're old-fashioned or you're new in thinking. It's a matter of biblical interpretation. How do you interpret scripture? Do you really believe that the whole Bible is true? Or do you believe that some passages were written to people back then and some no longer apply? But how do you make that choice of which ones are still relevant? So instead of trying to figure out what 1 Timothy 2 really means, I've chosen to shift my focus to passages in Scripture that aren't controversial, that tell me specifically what my role is as a woman of Christ. And so I look at things like Proverbs 31 and Titus 2 that teach me about being a helper to my husband and raising my children and serving others and teaching other women. Because even Proverbs 31, do you know that that was an oracle passed down from King Lemuel's mom? It was written by a godly woman to godly women, which is exactly what mentoring is supposed to look like. And I'm so thankful that I've had Proverbs 31 women in my life, and it's my prayer that I can someday be that Proverbs 31 woman in someone else's life. So no, I wouldn't be a pastor, but I still have an active role in ministry, and I still have a very unique purpose that God has given me to do His work. I don't think that I need the platform of the pulpit to make an impact for Christ. Be your savior,